Hello, CFA Nation, Gabe, and I'm here today to bring you back another installment of R3 Wickets. That's right, R3 Wickets, Upset Sunday edition. Let's be real. When you woke up this morning and looked at the afternoon games and said RCB versus CSK, really? Mumbai Indians versus Rajasthan Royals, really? These who thought that? I'm just curious. Who thought CSK was going to wait? Who thought CSK was going to win? I'll wait. Who thought the Royals were going to win? I'll wait. Now, that's what we call upsets here in the States. I mean, it was completely crazy. I live streamed the first game with Najib, much love. Okay, he's an RCB fan, and I tell you, it's funny. He's a candid RCB fan too. Because midway through here, he's like, "Man, this doesn't look good," and I'm like, "Bro, calm down." And he was like, "Listen, do you expect this as an RCB fan? Because they've had good seasons in the past, and then they choke. And I get it when you were, nervous about it, right? Nervous about it. Actually, the whole table, think about it, all top teams lost this weekend. So when we're talking about DC, lost. So did Mumbai Indians. So did RCB. So that's the only bright light, I should say, the only positive thing for RCB. But it was bad. It was bad. Let's just put it straight out there. I think that RCB, they underestimated CSK. Maybe they took them a little lightly. Who knows? But anyway, let's get into the first game of the day, RCB versus CSK. All right. First, what did I like? I like that RCB, today, once again, you look at them and they didn't really make, in my opinion, the change everybody's calling for, but they're staying stacked with it. I posed the question this morning because it's on ESPN Quick Info. People are mentioning it. Is it time to drop Finch? We saw what happens when you change too many players, and that's maybe what happened with CSK this year. Rajasthan Royals has made a lot of changes, and they're at the bottom of the points table. So they stuck with Finchy, even though he let them down once again. We'll talk about what I don't like, but I like that. I like, Virat Kohli, 50, half century. This guy's been on fire. He started off slow, but I think he's had like a half century 3 times in the last 7 or 8 games. He got up to the 80s. He's doing his job. All right. He's being a good captain. And I tell you what, as I'm watching this team, I'm like, they're good and they're better than this. But I did see them choke today. They still had an opportunity to win, but I kind of did see them choke today. Chahal did Chahal things on the bowling side. He got 21, gave 21 runs, got a wicket, 4 overs. That was great. Nobody was really close to getting pumped, so to speak. You know what I mean? It was a low total, so it wasn't like anybody went out and got blown up. Nobody came close to a 50 burger. Washington Sundar, he was on my fantasy team. 675 economy rate, 4 overs, 27 runs. I mean, Chris Morris, maybe. I mean, he gave up 3. I mean, he was the last man standing. His economy rate was still under 10. I mean, again, Siraj, we'll talk about him later, but I don't think they were going to give him enough overs to get pumped. He gave up a lot of runs and his economy rate was high. So maybe he's the guy, but it wasn't like he got to that 50. It was still a low total. All right. So, I mean, again, Kohli, he doesn't leave my fantasy team. He is a savage. 40 on 50, 43 balls, 116 strike rate. I love it. Padicle doing Padicle things, 22 on 21. That top order is solid for them. Again, Finch to me is the concern. And guys, you got to start asking the question. Does he deserve to be there? We're getting towards the playoffs. What happens if Finchy goes out in the playoffs, on a duck? People are going to say, well, maybe we should have replaced him. Too late then. Think about that. All right. What did I like on the CSK side? I said when going into the game, I didn't think CSK was going to win. I'm not going to sit here and be a blasphemer. Okay. I thought they'd lose, right? especially since everybody said RCB got the green jersey on, which means they're gonna light somebody up. All right. But what I liked for CSK was that they stuck to the plan. Okay, they went with the youth movement. We need the youth movement. Gaikwad, 65 runs, 51 balls, 127 strike rate. Not out, baby, not out. And this guy started the game. That's what you need. An opener that's going to be there the entire game. And he's a young Indian batsman. I think that whether Reina comes back or not next year, keep that opening partnership with him and Faf du Plessis, okay? And then you can move to Watson down to 3, Raidu, at 4, maybe even Sam Curran at 5, and then bring in Dhoni at 6. I mean, I want to see Gaikwad, and I said that, I want to see Gaikwad in there every single game until the end of the season to build that confidence, continue to build on it. Half century, I loved it. Rayudu, speaking of Rayudu, 39 runs on 27 balls, 144 strike rate. I loved it as well. Faf had some incredible catches today. Did not bat well. It is what it is. And Dhoni, although his strike rate was under 100, he did enough to win this game, 19 on 21 balls. And I think that that's what he's going to have to do. I would have maybe liked to see the plan of maybe putting one more person in before him. I know people are going to say, no, he did the right thing coming in where he did. I don't think he's going to be able to game after game go out there and last. If you come in the 12th over, he's going to be able to last, let's say, 8 overs, all right? He should come in right at the death or right before the death. So maybe one more batsman. With that being said, I loved, what else did I love on the CSK side? The bowling. Let's talk a little bit about the bowling. I've been calling for Mitchell Satner all year long, and he did not disappoint. All right, 4 overs, 23 runs. I think he had the lowest economy rate. He did. CSK, and he got a wicket. And again, guys, all wickets are not created equal. All wickets are not created equal. I say that because, if you get a wicket in the last over, right, when you're facing a batsman, that's not the same as getting a wicket in the early overs, which is to me why I feel that that Archer is having a better season than Rabada, because Archer, 15 wickets. All right. The majority of them all have come in the power play. That means you're breaking up that opening power partnership. And the Mitchell Satner got Padicle. We all know Padicle can go off. He's also lasted to the end on several occasions this year. And he puts up 30, 40, 50 runs. He did not let that opening partnership come to fruition. So I really like the fact that he ended up getting Padicle, huge wicket. Sam Curran. Let's talk about Sam Curran, right? 3 overs, 19 runs, 3 wickets. I was wrong. Wrong. I've been calling all season long to drop Sam Curran because I wanted to see guys like Mitchell Satner and Mertim here and Imran here and there. No, Sam Curran is part of the movement. He's actually the top all-rounder right now, top all-rounder in the IPL. Better than Stoinis, better than Morrison. It doesn't matter. I get it. Ben Stokes technically hasn't been there all year long, but better numbers than Ben Stokes. So I'm going with him. He's part of the youth movement. I think the drop in, and it pains me to say this as a West Indies fans, might be Dwayne Bravo, right? He's got injured in the CPL, got injured in the IPL, re-injured in the IPL. Maybe you because you need Satner in there. You saw today why you need Satner in there. Plus, he can rake a little bit with the bat. So I think the combination of Satner and Sam Curran, both 2 guys that can bowl and also hit, will be really, really good for CSK moving forward. We'll see what they do. Okay, Park Chahar doing the Park Chahar things. He is sneaky up there, guys. Again, economy rate, once again, 775. I told you guys before, he leads in dots, 9 dots, guys, and 2 wickets. Okay, he doesn't have those huge 3-4 wicket games, but he's so impressive and so consistent for CSK. I'm absolutely loving it. What did I hate? Let me start with, once again, RCB. RCB should have won this game. And I think that when the partnership got broken up early with Satner, all right, it was a great ball. Padicle was doing Padicle things out there, and that was a great ball. But Aaron Finch, don't tell me he keeps getting out on great balls. They can't all be great balls. This guy, look at his numbers, guys. Look at his numbers. He's continuously getting out, and you got to kind of question it. Again, I am not an expert. I read articles. I go on ESPN Crick Info. I go on Crick Buzz, and they're even saying, "Hey, is it time to drop Aaron Finch?" Again, guys. I mean, I'm just posing the question. Is it time to drop Aaron Finch? All right. Listen to the stats. All right. 36 runs in 11 games. 36 runs in 11 games. I mean, that's about if you really want to break it down per match. And I'm still going to say, Gabe, you can't do it that way. You don't want to break it down per match. All right. No problem. But just saying, it's a little over 22 runs per game. But let's give you a per game match then. 20 runs. Game 1. Game 2, 20 runs. Game 3, 52. Game 4, 8 runs. Game 5, 13 runs. Game 6, 2 runs. Game 7, 47 runs. Game 8, 20 runs. Game 9, 19 runs. Game 10, 16 runs. And game 11, 15 runs. Just saying, guys. Again, you want to have a consistent lineup, but is that what you're going to trust going into the playoffs? And we've seen Finchy have spells like this, right? On the show, The Test, it was well documented. He was struggling on the test team. They ended up just dropping him because he had to get ready for T20 and ODI play. But I don't know. He's in a funk. We'll see what happens. I did not like the performance. RCB stuck with you, and you did not deliver. You did not deliver. And now RCB is in a position where they're thinking, we got to win 2 out of the next 3 games. Mind you, 2 out of the next 3 games, they also play DC, and I think they play Mumbai. That's tough, guys. So you just put them in a really bad position. This was a winnable game, all right? What they're not like on the CA side, there's nothing not to like. There's always something that can be improved. I was going to say, in my opinion, if you're going to go with the youth movement, they won. That's fabulous. But if you're going to go with the youth movement, let me see some of the young bowlers as well. Okay. And I get it. You don't want to just throw away the games because games matter. But, seeing most of these bowlers other than Mitchell Satner, and we can't really call him a young bowler, but here's a young guy. I mean, an old guy. Is he even going to be there? I mean, if you guys didn't trust him this year, CSK, when the games counted, are you going to trust him next year? So try to find out. Try to find some young guys that are going to come in and deliver. That would be my only critique. What did I learn? CSK, do not fret. Okay. We were talking about it. We needed a young Indian batsman, and we found one. 65 runs, 51 balls. Gaikwad. I'm loving it. You guys know better than I do because you guys said, hey, he was 1 and 2 right behind. It was Pataku number 1 and him number 2 in domestic play. So I think they need to keep him there, obviously, the rest of the year. But I think now we have another stable batsman, Indian batsman that we can plug in there. Because, again, we got to make sure we sandwich it around around Watson and Faf. So now Rayudu, if he continues to do what he's doing, Gaikwad, Faf du Plessis, and Watson, now you're going to mix in Sam Curran and Dhoni. I think it's enough at that point. If we get back our missing pieces, if we get back Reina, great. If we don't get back Reina, though, we can survive with this next year. What did I learn on the RCB side? I see where RCB fans are still kind of trepidatious. And when Nick made the pick of them winning the championship, I see why so many fans are like, really? They're a great team. They have some good players. I love Chahal. I think he's one of the best Indian spinners. Chahal's a lot of fun. I like Washington Sundar, Chris Morris, but I feel like when it's push comes to shove, who's going to be their guy that's going to be their top wicket taker? Do they have that archer that you can send them out in the opening partnership and say, go break that up? All right. Bowling, right? It's always been their Achilles heel. That and Finchy. All right. You got problems if this is what you're going to take into the playoffs. So that's what I learned. Now, game two. Okay. Upset Sunday. The Royals had no business beating Mumbai. I've been here talking about how Mumbai is so good and how Mumbai can win without even going to some of their other batsmen. And I thought they were going to do it today, all right? Right out the gate, I'm going to start with what I love. And once again, guys, can Chris Archer get some love? People keep saying, oh, he's overrated. Really? Look at his wickets. Look at when he gets his wickets, all right? He gets those scalps, and it's always in the opening partnership. He breaks those up. It cannot be understated how big those wickets are. You don't give guys times to establish themselves, right? Those are normally your best batsmen because they're not their opening partnership. They can handle the new ball. It is huge. And once again, Archer did not disappoint today. Did not disappoint today. And to me, that's what I love about this guy, right? He is so stacked. So I'm going to start with the Rajasthan Royals. 4 overs, 31 runs, 2 wickets for Archer. I'm loving that, but it's the wickets he got, guys. Once again, it's the wickets he got, and when he got them is really what's important. Quinton de Kock, guys, bowled out by Archer. Bowled out by Archer. I repeat, bowled out by Archer. Early. All right, guys, and that's what I'm talking about, man. When you're talking about Jofra Archer, I keep saying Jofra Archer, it's getting him in there in the power play and getting him to break up that partnership. Quinton de Kock has been a savage these last few games. He's averaging 40, 50 runs. Archer said, we'll have none of that today, okay? We'll have none of that today. Early, give me that wicket. Once again, all wickets aren't created equal, and I absolutely loved it. After Stokes, there were so many arguments about who's the best all-rounder in the world. And when we were watching Test cricket, they had Jason Holder as one of the best all-rounders, and then they said no, it's Stokes, and of course Kohli. Not Kohli. I'm sorry. I can't remember the other all-rounder they mentioned, but Ben Stokes today showed why he is a monster. 107 runs on 60 balls. The guy was a savage. He was not playing. He literally won this thing on his back. And guess who had him on his fantasy team? Me. That's who. Ben Stokes. I mean, his numbers as an all-rounder don't look as good because he missed so many games this year. But if you really extrapolate it with what everybody else has done this season, he's going to be right up there with Sam Curran and Stoinis. I love me some Ben Stokes. Again, him and Sanju Samson was really all you needed. And I'm telling you right now, Sanju Samson, he's so inconsistent, but he got a 50 today. He got a 54 today, actually. And that was enough. Other guys contributed. Uthappa got 13 before he got bowled out by Pattinson. We'll talk about the return of Pattinson in a minute. Okay. As well as Steve Smith, still struggling. 11 for 8 before he got bowled out by, once again, Pattinson. But again, guys, it's I'm telling you, I asked this question a while back. I said, who's the most disappointing team this year? And it's got to be the Royals, because if you look at what they have on paper and you look at their lineup, Stokes, they didn't even bat Butler today. They didn't need Butler. Stokes, Smudge, Uthappa, Samson. I mean, Butler. It goes. That batting lineup should carry them in most games. And then they got Archer, and they got Tawadia. I don't understand how they were near the bottom with my CSK. I really don't. And again, I know part of the glaring issue has been Smudge, and you guys know I love me some Smudge, but he has not helped his team today. Once again, didn't he help his team today? But it is what it is. They got a victory, okay? So what did I like on Mumbai Indians? Guys, this wasn't a blowout. This was not even close to a blowout. Mumbai Indians came in today, no Rohit Sharma. I guess he's really is hurt. Second game in a row. And in a game where they got no Rohit Sharma and they lose Quinton de Kock in the opening over. He's on 4 balls, right? In a game where they lose Quinton de Kock to 6 runs. 6, I repeat, 6 runs. They're still, and they lose Pollard, their captain, to 6 runs. Balls as well. They're still able to put up 196 runs. I'm sorry, 95. 195 runs. All this year about how they haven't even needed Handrek Pandya. They needed him today. And he delivered. What did he get? 60 runs on 21 balls. That's a 285 strike rate. I don't think I've seen anything that high. That's AB de Villiers like. Holy cow. Impressive. All right, Ishan Kishan, 37 runs on 36 balls, doing Kishan things. We had Yadav for 26. Tawari chipped in today with 34 and 25. Even when the big names, Pollard, don't get it done. Quitting the cock don't get it done. Even when they don't have Rohit Sharma, they can still give you 195 runs. That's why I still believe this is the most dangerous team. Let's go to the bowling. And Trent Bolt today, he had a bad game, okay? In his turn, no wickets, only 10 economy rate, right? 4 overs, 40 is what it is. But the return of Pattinson, 2 wickets, he gave up 2 wickets in 3.2 overs. The guy's a wicket taker, all right? Boomerang, surprisingly, 4 overs, 38 runs, did not get any wickets, and the only 2 wickets were Pattinson, guys. So that's why I'm like, listen, I couldn't believe they dropped Pattinson, okay? Other guys might have more economy rates, but guess what? Pattinson comes in and immediately breaks up that opening partnership. He goes and gets Uthappa. He gets himself Steve Smith again. Pattinson should not be taken off the team. My opinion. I know NCN is nice. I know Canonical Bowl, but I think Pattinson has had a better season than him, in my opinion. What did I not like? Let's stick right there with what we talked about. Guys, Steve Smith, if I'm going to give Finch a hard time, if I'm going to give tons of players a hard time, Steve Smith, I mean, it's bad. And I mean, as a captain, does Steve Smith need to do what Dinesh Karthik did and say, I'm not helping my team. Let me hand over the reins to Butler. Let me hand over the reins to Stokes, whoever, and let me just focus on batting. Because once again today, 11 runs, 8 balls, guys. That's not getting it done. Matter of fact, let's break this down. All right, so in 12 games, he has 276 runs. Again, 12 games, 276 runs. Let's break that down, okay? 69 runs first game. Second game, 50 runs. Coincidentally, they won the first 2 games. They went 2-0 to start the season. Then 3, 5, 6. Yeah. Losing streak started, and you can see how important this guy is, all right? First 5 games, 2 and 3. 2 games he scored above 50. One was 69, one was 50. They win. The other one, 3, 5, 6, they lose. Then 24, 5, 1, 57, 26, 19, and 11 today. Guys, again, if I'm going to call out Finchy, I got to call out Smudge. I love Smudge. But again, he's got 1 more match played than Finchy, and the difference in scoring is exactly 40 runs. 40 runs. Are you kidding me? Right now? You're the captain of the team. Not acceptable. You got to improve. You just have to improve. With that being said, that's pretty much it. All right. For me, I think that was one of the things that needed to improve if they're going to make a run. I still don't think they have enough. They got a pretty tough schedule to make a run, but anything can happen. If cricket has taught me anything, it is do not call a game and do not make any definitive statements, because it'll turn around in a heartbeat. Okay. Now, what else did I not like? Oh my gosh. Rajput pumped for 60 runs. A 50 burger. Oh my God. Alert. Oh, go home and take a shower. It is, oh my God. 60 runs. 50, that's a 15 economy rate, people. 4 overs, 60 runs. He got pumped like I don't think I've seen somebody get pumped this year. 60 runs? Oh my gosh. He needs to. You know what? I'm telling you, nobody better even sit next to him. Whatever he has could be contagious. So Jofra Archer better sit way far from him on the bus, because I don't want it rubbing off. Are you kidding me? 60 runs and not even a wicket? Oh, horrible performance. You get donkey of the day, my friend. And you know what? I'm telling you right now, I changed the segment so we can use that crying face, but I'm going to figure something out, because this kind of bad performance needs to be acknowledged. With that being said, what did I not like on the Mumbai Indians side, all right? Here's the thing. I'm not going to crush Quitting the Cock because whatever. You can't do it every single game. So I'm not going to say, oh, let me look at the guys that got the fewest runs or whatever. It's I'm thinking to myself, okay, as I'm watching this game, they're so deep. We're talking about Mumbai Indians. They are absolutely so deep. And they put up 195 runs, guys. That's nothing to sneeze at. Nothing to sneeze at. I have heard, though, that the Pandya brothers are two, and you saw today, Hardik 60 runs on 21 balls. That's a 285 strike rate. How come he doesn't bat higher in the order? I mean, somebody help me out. Why does he not bat higher in the order? Okay. Today you got to see his talent. Today you got to see his talent. And guess what? 195 it was a huge total. All the totals have been relatively in the 160s lately. So you can't look at that and say they didn't do. They did this again today without Rohit Sharma, people. So that changes everything. It'd be Rohit Sharma instead of Tiwari. But I think that you need to move him up in the order. Pollard, I think, is content with coming in at 6 or 7, coming in the depth overs. He can do damage in a short spell of time. But I think that you can put in Hardik and maybe, I don't know. What do you guys think? Slide him in at 3? Maybe slide him in at 3, 4. Let me know what you guys think. I'm telling you, this guy can play, and I was super impressed by him today. All right. What did I learn? What did I learn? We talked about what I liked. We talked about what I did not like. What did I learn about these two teams? Okay. Rajasthan Royals, I learned what I already knew. This team is super talented. Super talented. They are, if they don't make it to the playoffs, the most disappointing team this season. Because honestly, when you look at the names on the back of the jerseys over there, something was wrong. And it's got to be right now. Like I said, look at just the first 5 games of the season, and that's a synopsis of this team. 2 games, your captain played well. Smudgy put up big runs, 50 runs and 69 runs, 69 runs and 50 runs respectively, and they win. Next 3 runs, he doesn't get into double digits, people. He does not even get to double digits, and they lose. See, that's their season. So maybe Smudge needs to just, step away from the captaincy, give it to Butler, give it to a Stokes, whatever, and focus on just batting, because I know the guy can hit. Here's another thought, guys. Is he hurt? Is he maybe hiding an injury? There's been a lot of injuries so far in the IPL. Look, Rohit Sharma's out right now, even if it's a small injury, okay? As an athlete, that can hinder you. So maybe he's hiding an injury. I don't know. But something's going on with Smudge, all right? On the Mumbai Indians, what did I learn? I learned what I already knew as well, guys. This team is super deep. If you're a Mumbai Indian fan and you're upset about this game, you just have to say to yourself, yeah, no Rohit Sharma. How often are you going to get Quinton de Kock out on 6? Okay. How often are you going to get Pollard out on 6? That's a huge total. Sometimes you tip your cap to the other guy. Stokes got a century. Okay. 107 runs. That ain't going to happen every day. I still feel good about my prospects. I feel good about Pattinson coming back and getting 2 wickets, right? So you said to yourself, the only 2 wickets, by the way, for the Mumbai Indians. You say yourself with Bumrah, Pattinson, and once Bolt gets back in form, I feel confident. But today, guys, the biggest thing I learned about the IPL, and my man Najib told me this morning, is, Gabe, in the IPL, you do not know the playoff matchups until the last day, the last game, the last ball. And I really see that happening. I mean, RCB's schedule, they've got to play DC, who they have literally the same identical record as, and they got to also play Mumbai, I believe. They're sandwiched in there with Kings 11, who's also looking for a playoff spot. Rajasthan Royals also playing Kings 11. KKR plays Kings 11 on Monday. Tomorrow, it is insane. I am not making any predictions. That's why it was so crazy that Nick and I made predictions. I don't know who's going to be in there. I really don't. Somebody said today, technically, CSK is not eliminated. What? You need a lot to happen for CSK not to be eliminated. But I am not going to make any more declarations, guys, because the IPL is the most competitive league I've seen in my life. More than baseball, more than football, and I'm talking American football, more than the NBA. I mean, the NBA is probably the least competitive league. Let's just be real. You want to know who's going to the playoffs? Pick whatever team LeBron's on. You know what I'm saying? LeBron's been to the finals literally almost every year of his career. So it's the power of balance in the NBA shifts with LeBron James. It's not like that in the IPL. There's so much talent. These teams are so balanced. Really, if you're a fan of any team, you will not know until the last game, basically not this Tuesday coming up, but the Tuesday after. You will not know until November 2nd if your team's in the playoffs or not. So even my CSK fans hold out hope, even though I don't think it's going to happen. But technically, you're not mathematically eliminated yet. And I could not love this season anymore. I really, really, really am excited for this upcoming week because we're going to see a lot of movement. Every game matters. Every single game matters. I don't think there's a game that doesn't matter. Even CSK, who technically is out of it, you know what I mean? Even though they have life, they matter because they play teams that are trying to get in. All right. Let me just, before I sign off, tell you the rest of the schedule so you can say, oh, yeah, this is going to be an exciting finish. KKR currently in the fourth seed, in the fourth spot on Monday, match 48, and Kings 11. That's a huge game. That could move. If Kings 11 win, they go to fourth. If KKR wins, they stay in fourth. Then we got Delhi Capitals against the Sunrisers. Delhi Capitals cannot afford to lose another game. If they lose another game, they probably get jumped by the Knight Riders if the Knight Riders beat Kings 11. All right. Then we got Mumbai Indians versus RCB. RCB, honestly, they have the toughest schedule going down. They lose that, and now they're really worried because they may drop down to fourth, and they know, and we still have to play a tough schedule after that. Then CSK versus the Knight Riders. Knight Riders are desperately clinging onto that fourth spot, and you cannot just take CSK for granted, which CSK came in today and won a huge game against RCB. So I don't think we're going to take them for granted. Then we got Kings versus the Royals. The Royals need to win out basically to get in. So, and they got one more game than pretty much everybody else. So they can't afford to lose. And Kings 11 pretty much has to win every game to get in as well. Delhi Capitals match 51 versus DC. That may very well determine who's going to be number 1 seed, who's going to be number 2 seed. And again, all three teams, by the way, have that identical record right now in the points table. It's crazy. RCB finally gets a break with the Sunrisers, even though they're dangerous. And the Jeep said today, bro, we could get a day where you got David Warner and both Bairstow hit, and it's ugly. Those guys can both go off first century. Then Kings 11 versus CSK, the Royals versus the Knight Riders, DC versus RCB. I was not lying. RCB in the end has to go against Mumbai Indians, DC, and the Sunrisers. And like I said, they got the toughest schedule. So if you are a RCB fan, I can see you maybe pushing the panic button a little bit. And we finish off with Mumbai Indians versus the Sunrisers. Think about the schedule I just gave you. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. That's all I know. Well, guys, I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. You already know the deal. We'll be back tomorrow morning, live streaming the first hour and a half or so, first 15 overs of this very important match, Knight Riders versus the Kings 11. Till next time, that's 6 runs.